happen in the women's shower. All those issues were resolved today. So the handicap bench is fixed. We had 2 showers that were leaking, some caulk and seal issues. We think that now has solved our puddling out into the hallway because of the weep holes that occur in the showers and where that water goes if it's not going down the drain. So we're gonna monitor that and make sure that we have a solid fix, but we're pretty confident we got that resolved. Staff continues to prepare the outdoor pool deck for Memorial Day opening. This week, there are a few panels of concrete that need to be raised. They're a little tripping hazard, so we're gonna do a foam raise of those, a foam jacking of those, and then new caulk will be applied where those panels are raised. So we're waiting for that to happen. The goal is to start putting water in the pool on Thursday. That is the goal. So it takes a while to get it filled. And then we'll start running pumps and backwashing and then starting balancing with the hopes that with all the staff that we have to train, we can get everybody that we need to get certified and recertified ready before Memorial Day, which kind of at noon. Shawnee Mission School District, however, is returning to school for 2 days after Memorial Day. And the majority of our staff are Shawnee Mission School District students. So that puts a little kink into opening full days those 2 days. So we are proposing going to our our August schedule, and on Mondays and Tuesdays opening the outdoor pool from 4 to 7. And then on Thursday, May 30th, we will go full open. So we'll open Memorial Day like normal. We'll be at noon to 5, and then those 2 days we'll just need to do an abbreviated opening. And then on Thursday, staff will be back and ready to go. We'll be full-fledged, but we can't possibly open both pools. Now the indoor pool will open and operate as an open swim at noon, like it was a summer day. We can staff that with the existing college staff that are returning, but without those high school kids, we are a little limited. So we're working with our communications staff to put that out into the public. So just wanted you guys to be aware that we recognize that there's been a slight change to the Shawnee Mission schedule, so.
So Monday, it was 12 to 5, is that what we always
Yeah,
okay.
12 to 5. Yeah, well, the building opens 9 to 5, but outdoor will open at noon on Monday. Yeah.
What are our regular summer?
Noon to 8. Normally we're noon to 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. With the exception of Sunday, then we're noon to 6.
We need the chart.
Yeah, get the flow chart, but it works.
Is it a leap year this year?
We're getting better. We're getting
Yes,
better.
it is.
It's always
It's
helpful
already
to
done.
post a little graphic like ahead of time.
Yeah.
So you know what to
Yeah.
expect.
We have contacted a new vendor to come and evaluate the north fan in the natatorium. The vendor that we had originally contacted showed us. So we've been trying to find somebody to come out, and Smo had a good idea because of what it consists of. He contacted Douglas Pump. So we're gonna see if maybe they can help us problem solve that north fan. The therapy pool will close on this Thursday from 11 to 4. We need to repair a grab bar in the pool, so we have to drop the water level, do the repair, let the repair kind of cure, and then add water and rebalance the pool. We don't anticipating it taking that amount of time, but that's the amount of time that we have no programs. So we wanted to give ourselves room for error, and then maybe look really good when we're able to go, oh, look, it's open sooner than we thought. But it's easier to do that than it is to say, oh, sorry, we need to close it for longer than we anticipated. So in April, there were 6 shelter reservations, or there will be 6 shelter reservations. It's the season just opened, so we're kind of monitoring how that goes. Along with that, we are now also evaluating how we staff and clean those. Currently, our facilities team takes like an every other weekend type thing, and with some other things that are occurring, they've asked us to step in and potentially evaluate some other solutions to that. So we've reached out to some of our older part-time staff, not high school kids, part-time staff, and asked if any of them are interested in maybe some additional hours and helping clean and prepare the shelters for reservations. So we are looking at changing how that system currently works.
Are those spread among the parks?
Yeah, we only have 2 shelters.
Okay.
So we have one at Chat Lane and one at Brown. where the complication comes is when we have we have two groups on the same day. So we'd have a morning shelter rental from 9 to 2, and then we have another shelter rental from 3 to 8. And so it's that, when we have that quick turnaround, making sure that we have somebody here, versus a full-time staff that has to come back and maybe deal with that. So we're talking through those logistics with Public Works and a staff member that we've identified on our side, that maybe we can figure something different out and work those a little differently, so those are the updates to the director's report.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you have any update on the yoga room window shade?
I do not. We have gotten a quote.
Yeah, so, our first quote came in at roughly about $5,000 to repair. So being it was at that price point, Caleb went to get, we only need to get 3 quotes based upon that price point. Then when he got the second quote, it was like $4,700. So we thought this guy was crazy. Maybe he wasn't. So at this point, we're waiting for a third quote before we can select a vendor and have that fixed. It's a little more complicated than just putting up the curb.
I understand that, yes.
Is that automated?
That one is not. The only automated ones are the art gallery and these ones in front. But because of because when the desert air unit wasn't operating properly, it compromised the drywall. So there's some other things that have to occur structurally up there.
Understood. Any other questions about the director's report?
All right, thank you. We'll move on to the comparison oh, well, that's exciting.
T-Rex.
Oh, no, internet.
Well, let's try again. I was connected, it must have kicked me out. Oh, look, surprise!
Ta-da.
Now we're there. It's a good night. It's always fun when technology doesn't want to work. So we'll start with the member report. I don't have any additional information as to what was in the packet, so I'd answer any questions, if there's any questions about our memberships.
So, 2023 is for the whole year, right?
The first page is yes.
So the numbers for 2024 would obviously be less.
Yeah, they are. The one thing that you'll notice is that we had a significant uptick in silver sneakers already this year. So in 2022, we only had, we had 222 for the year, and we've had almost 600 this year. Yeah, so a significant uptick there.
Did they all come at 5 a.m.?
Not all of them. The majority of them come between 7 and 11, actually. But no, there are a lot of people at 5 a.m., yes. Any other questions about the membership report? And we'll look at annual visits. Again, I do have a little bit of update, but this is kind of just kind of preparing you for April and where we're sitting at for April. Member visits for April, we're averaging 360 visits per day for the first 21 days, compared to 320 visits per day for all of 2023. So if this pace continues, which this time of year it's hard to determine if that pace is going to continue, because really nice days, people, as I would be outside, but we are going to have some bad weather towards the end of the week, so we might still contain that pace. Staff anticipates visitation, if that pace continues, approximately increasing 1,300 visits over 2023. For daily visits, we're averaging 48 visits per day through the first 21 days, compared to 39 visits per day in 2023. If this pace continues, we're anticipating increasing daily visits, approximately 270 visits over 2023. So we're still seeing significant growth in visitation as we move through. And that can be confirmed with revenue. We exceeded April of 2023 revenue on Sunday with 9 days remaining. And on Sunday, we exceeded it by $1,000. So we were close on Saturday night. We missed it Saturday by a couple $100.
That's just
You think the library is?
That's the entire, yeah. I'm sorry,
Do you
George.
think the opening of the library is bumping up those stats a little bit?
Well, they'd have to be
There's probably no
members.
way.
There's, I mean, we'll be able to tell as we'll see. We do know that we don't count the people that come in and go, here's my library book.
Are you still doing it?
Included in your packet was a detailed comparison of the first quarter of revenues and expenditures. So it's between two sheets there, so you can see that's the revenues, that's the expenditures. I'll start with revenues because that's where I started out on my sheet. So I'll put that up first. So I prepare this, staff prepared this based on documents provided by the finance director. Finance director has not seen this. I could have an error, but I tried very hard to capture my numbers from the reports given to me by the finance director. If all aspects of budgeting were equally divided into quarters, through the first quarter, you would expect lines to be 25% of the budget, both revenues and expenditures. Obviously, our world does not work that way. We're seasonal, so some things are gonna hit earlier in the season than others. But currently, to date, total revenues are 29.3% of the budget, with 14 line items contributing to this success. So if you go across, and did the math, 14 of these lines are greater than 25% of where they were budgeted. Through the first quarter of 2024, as expected, lines like summer membership, summer swim team, and concession cart, very seasonal. They're not contributing yet at all. We're hoping to see that change in second quarter, obviously. Through the first quarter of 2024, revenue is $38,896 better than the same time frame of 2023. This is an increase of 10.4%. So I did go back and see how did we compare to last year, which obviously when month over month we're beating the revenue, we would expect to see that as well. So when we look and compare that to the expenditure side of things, total expenditures are currently 18.8% of the budgeted expenses. So obviously you always want your expenses to be doing better, are not as good as your revenues. I did not quite say that correctly. In reviewing these lines, there are a handful of lines that are exceeding 25% of the budget, and like revenues, they are also seasonally impacted, such as contracted services. Those are repairs that happen by contractors in this building, so those just happen when they need to happen. And then travel expenses, a lot of our conferences happen earlier in the year, knowing that we're gonna be busy in the fall and spring of the year, or the summer and fall of the year. Through the first quarter of 2024, expenditures have increased $58,860 over 2023. This is an increase of 12.1%. I went back and did a little comparison. The majority of these increases are seen in salaries and benefits, the majority of them. There are other lines that have seen a slight increase, but as you would expect, staff did get raises, benefits did increase. So, and those are things that we can't necessarily control. So that is kind of where we're at for quarter one. If there's any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Very good.
Seeing none. Assistant Director's report, please.
Okay, in your packet was the special ed evaluation for Brunch with the Bunny. Very popular program. We had a lot of kiddos. Great event. One of the things, if you noticed, it doesn't quite pay for itself. And one of the big, or two of the big expenditures happens to be breakfast with Chris Cake, $136 range. So that's definitely going to help our bottom line for when it comes around for breakfast with Santa Claus.
How much more was Chris Cakes over the people from the last time?
Chris Cakes is not as expensive as Five Guys in a
Yeah,
Grill, or
five,
two
yeah.
guys in a grill. Or
Two Guys in a Grill.
They're even more expensive.
Oh, wow, okay.
But
Chris
you
Cakes
so-
is good.
but you can see it's a big expense.
So Boy Scouts next year for Breakfast with Bunny?
Yes, well, if they have a good,
If they have a good Christmas.
if they have a good Christmas, yes, there's, we have to evaluate. We can't have long lines of people not getting their pancakes on time and that type of thing. So as long as they work out really well, yeah, we'd love to have them back because it'd be a
What
huge
troop is
savings
that?
for us. Huh?
What troop, do you know?
Christian Church.
47?
247.
247.
I was at 248, no.
I knew the 47, but the 247, yeah.
Who was your buddy?
Our bunny was our
Summer
intern. Not our summer.
Summer intern.
Our
Spring intern.
Our spring intern, Melissa, was our bunny this year. She did.
If anyone would like to be the bunny,
We're currently taking
currently
applications.
taking applications.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Make it into the intern job description.
Send in a resume?
Yes, yes. There'll be an audition, no, just kidding. Any questions about breakfast with Bunny? Okay, just upcoming events we wanted to make everyone kind of aware of. Harry Potter Day is coming up April 30th. This was one of Renee's kind of new programs last year that she did with the library. We had a great turnout. A lot of kids came dressed in costumes. It was kind of fun. So that will be April 30th from 4 to 6.
Is that with the library?
No.
It is actually not with the library again. So.
Are you paying royalties to use this name?
That's a good question.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You're gonna-
Why not with the library this year?
I don't know if they had a
I think with them
particular
opening,
reason.
I think it was a combination
Yeah.
of they weren't sure, kind of like we were a little nervous when we first, well, of course, we opened during COVID, but we had made the decision when we first opened not to start new programs, and I think they still hold storytelling here. We're still hosting some of their events here, so they haven't pulled back into their own space yet.
Nothing happened, it just,
Yeah.
yeah, just didn't have they were doing it. Any more questions about Harry Potter Day? Then moving on to the art gallery, Nature in Harmony is our next show, opening May 2nd. It is a photography show, so if you like photography, swing by and check that out. And likewise, our reception is that first Thursday from 7 to 8:30. Then we have some exciting news. The Farmers Market will be opening May 4th, the first Saturday in May. We're excited because it's our 25th year, so we have a little bit of a 25th celebration, things planned throughout the summer. And then also, since it is May 4th, May the 4th be with you, we've designed really cute coloring sheets for kids that has Darth Vader holding broccoli and Yoda holding a carrot. There should be they're really super cute. There should be a lot of fun for the kids. So we're looking forward to opening day on May 4th.
And Brenna did create those, so she did get the proper, I do know that.
Oh, copyright.
Yeah, I do know that.
Have to pay anything?
I don't have any problem paying royalties, I just don't like filling the pockets of the hateful Nazi bigot.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's where my critique.
I don't know that we did anything there, for that, but I do know because of, Yoda and Darth Vader, we had to get some clearance.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then moved on, Turkey Creek 5K, we're taking registrations now, we're up to about 60 runners, and so, which is up from a little bit from last year. I am a little concerned because we have a couple of our school running clubs. Last year we had St. Pat's that had 36 runners. They won't be coming because they don't do a running program anymore in the school. And then Crestview, which is our elementary school here in Merriam, they had 55 runners last year, and they have a new PE teacher. So I don't know if I've sent all the information and welcomed him because Crestview has quite a few runners as well. So hopefully they'll participate. But if they don't, that would be like a minus 80 runners. So I'm hopeful that we'll get some elementary kids from maybe some other schools, or otherwise our race could be a little smaller this year.
What's your deadline?
Well, you can register day of, yeah. We do have an early bird deadline or registration that ends April 30th, and then as of May 1st, the registration jumps up like $10. But we will run the race either or. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout. And then the festival, of course, is later in that day. where I think last month I talked a little bit about Renee has some new, a little bit different petting zoo, and some new interactive things that are gonna be new, a pie eating contest, which should be a lot of fun, big giant inflatable dinosaurs, which should be towering over the trees, which might be kind of cool. So hopefully people can come out and see the festival. There's information on the pie eating contest. There actually is a cost involved with that. It's $10 a person for ages 6 and up, and your choices are apple or cherry for the pie eating contest. So that should be, get some good photo ops or some video of people trying to eat pie as
Stuffing
fast as
their
they
face.
possibly can. Yeah, yeah.
People should register early for that.
We need to pre-register, yeah.
Wonder if you'll get adults competing.
I don't know.
Is Anna baking all those pies?
I
Is
am
that
not,
what I
Anna's
heard?
not a pie baker. That is one thing.
I move.
Actually, no, that is one thing that I did not master from my mom. My sister got that ability. I did not get that ability.
Should be more fun.
So if it works out good, maybe we could have a celebrity pie eating round, or we could have someone from the park board, city council, and yeah, I don't know, Andy. So, any questions about the run, the festival, or pie eating?
Has a call for volunteers been issued for?
We are, yeah, I'm glad you suggested that. For the run, I'm 3 volunteers short. Time commitment is like 7:30 to 9:30. Renee has some time in the afternoon after 12. She's good from 10 to 12, but 12 to 2 or 2 to 4 is a couple spots that she could use some volunteers, whether it's driving golf courts or working with some wood projects. If you're interested, please contact Renee.
Who do we get the pies from? Just curious. The
Um,
pies.
Hi, Golden Boy.
Golden Boys probably?
Oh,
I
Golden.
think
Yeah.
those are.
We get a deal or something?
I hope so.
I think so, and I don't think they're not a full,
Are they individual piles more or less?
I think they're kind of that
Mini
middle.
pie.
Competition size?
Yeah, I can't remember what she
Minimum
said,
size.
but they're not, because obviously $10 doesn't cover the cost of a Golden Boy pie.
Yeah.
So it's a smaller,
Okay.
it's
Personal
a,
pan pizza.
Just
size.
curious.
yeah,
So
That is-
it's an expense item.
Yeah.
it is, and so I think it is, it's not your traditional 8
Right.
slices,
Okay.
yeah.
You're assuming most kids will only eat one or less.
Yeah.
You're hoping.
Well, you only get one, it's a race.
Oh, a
So
race,
you'll
okay.
be in a line and everybody will go
Yes.
at one,
just like
it's
that.
not like a hot dog eating contest where you
How
just,
many? Yeah.
So afterwards, can we come by for leftovers or?
well, if you wanna eat something that somebody's had their face in, I guess. That doesn't sound appealing to me.
Take that for the possums.
There you
Yeah,
go.
there you go.
There you go.
Any other program updates?
That's all I have for tonight.
A member from KUCA here last month requesting that we consider waiving, their outdoor pool fee. They always ask for staff fees to be waived. We typically do not waive staff fees, as that is a hard cost and something that, we make people pay consistently. In regards to that, their event is Saturday, July 13th from 9 to noon. It's their annual swim-a-thon fundraiser. As you recall, they use that fundraiser to help offset scholarship requests that we cannot cover as part of our scholarship program. And then they also use some of those funds to help purchase the Aqua wheelchair that we now have on site and is being used. So the donation would be for $600 for them to be in the outdoor pool during that time frame. They would be responsible for $240, which is for staff at $20 an hour times 3 hours. Staff is recommending that Park Board approve the outdoor rental at no charge, with KUCA responsible for staff costs directly associated with the proposed event. Happy to answer any questions. This will be the third year that we've hosted this, and it is, from a staff perspective, it's no issues.
I think their donation of a wheelchair kind of makes it for those.
Yeah.
Does anyone use a wheelchair yet?
No, but I know at the last meeting, had a lot of questions of where it would be stored. So I made sure and asked Cole, I gotta know where we're storing the thing. So it is actually stored underneath the slides. There's a space there that it can get, it's close to, we can readily easily get to it. But it's really not out in the open. As you can only imagine, some boys or girls and horseplay on the deck with the.
Is it secure?
It's secure, yes, yeah, so, so it's just underneath.
Visible but secure.
Yes, correct.
Are there any other questions on the subject? I'd entertain a motion to approve this recommendation.
I'll second.
Oh, we need a motion first, sorry.
So you're moving.
Well, I beg your pardon. I'm moving that we approve their request.
After a second, discussion is permitted under Robert's rules, and my question would be during discussion, that we communicate with our city partner, about the good we do for community partners. And we've seen it in some of our social media, et cetera, but these are great stories about how we participate in community life
Okay.
and help other organizations succeed by fulfilling our own mission, and I don't wanna lose that opportunity when we have the capacity to be this helpful. If we can make a little hay out of it.
Be a running commentary throughout the year as we add new.
Or an end of year story or some such thing. Communications people will know how to do that.
We gotta wait till the end of the year.
But it's something our residents are helping to make possible, and I want them to get some credit.
Yeah, I will gladly share that, input with Jenna, and we'll go from there.
Thank you. Calling the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. The recommendation is approved.
Okay, I will reach out to them and let them know.
No regrets. Like that's all.
Oh, no, like Shine Mission Post or something, there's so many places that would probably run it.
Yeah. Or if we could, like, fetishize and exploit some child. Just kidding. Item B, under new business, summer postcards for motion.
Yeah, so, as you might recall, we do 2 postcards a year to promote, memberships and access to this facility. And so in the summertime, we've run this promotion several years where you buy one, get one free for a day pass, up to 3 free, so you can buy 3, get 3. Kind of that whole thought that it's a household of 6, which is how we define a household currently. While this is the same promotion, the design does change a little bit. I will tell you, and I don't know which picture it is, we have changed one of these pictures out to include a different generation of our patrons so that we can represent our older population that utilizes the facility, and it's not all youth and families. So one of these pictures has been tweaked slightly since I put this in the packet. And the other thing is cannonball is one word that has been corrected. So I wanted to point those 2 things out. The area targeted will remain the same as past promotions. We work with our mailing company to use our existing addresses to kind of determine our target area and where households are and if there's gaps in that. So using that data, we're setting our target area, and we'll send out about 10,000 postcards. The goal is that this postcard will hit mailboxes the week of Memorial Day, and obviously it does not expire until July 14th. This little coupon aligns perfectly with this little square right here. So if somebody cuts out the postcard or they return the postcard, we then capture that address, and then I send them a follow-up letter and just thank them for coming in and reminding them of membership benefits and other opportunities we have in the facility, just as an additional touch to kind of get, you came in once and you used this value, so there is some value, you find some value in what we offer. So we have a little letter we send out to them as a thank you for coming in. So I like to include this so that other eyes see it besides just staff eyes, and see if there's any input from this board in regards to what we have on for this postcard.
I will say I was concerned because I just looked at black and white pictures and I thought, oh crap, everyone's white. But then I looked more closely at the photos and there was more
Yes.
apparent
Mhm.
cultural diversity
Yeah.
that started to tell in the monochromatic images. We don't sacrifice too much of that by reaching for other diversity
Mhm.
because we are a very culturally diverse
Mhm.
population here every day, and we're also generationally diverse all day long.
Right.
So I think that's a good call.
Thank you. That was a suggestion from Smoke. He caught the generationally diverse.
He didn't see himself.
He might not have seen himself in the, I don't know. I can't speak to why he caught it, but
No one looks.
yeah.
I resemble that remark, right?
We are trying to do a better job of getting a variety of photos when we take photos.
Do you desire a formal recommendation from this population for this promotion, or is this informational?
There we go.
Is there other business? The art committee,
Yeah, I forgot that this
That's
time.
all
I
right.
apologize.
Still working on the long range plan. We'll be reaching out to Ingrid, because part of the long range plan is developing a collection management policy. And because we're building a collection of these artworks. And although they're well taken care of, part of this planning is to focus a little more energy intentionally in that direction. And part of a collection management policy is loan forms and language around borrowing objects from other people and loaning them out. And we already have city-approved language. If we're doing that, probably in the paperwork at work and the art gallery. So the community center has led the way in development of this language for the art committee, so we'll be reaching out for that. And that draft will be presented at the next meeting of the art committee on May.
Is there an insurance policy covering that artwork, in or out?
It's not specifically dedicated to the collection, which is different from the insurance that would probably cover incoming and outgoing loans. But it's a good question.
It's covered, our art is covered under we are self-insured as a city.
Yeah, so it's just
So
your GL.
we just, whenever we put something on the books, we notify, like you would notify.
And there's a cap on that.
So there's a value established on each piece?
We do have a value.
Generally, fine art collections won't do that. Cities like to do that.
Right. Just from a bookkeeping standpoint.
But it's antithetical to the mission-driven work of museums to place individual dollar value on objects as opposed to the intrinsic value of their contribution to culture and education and enlightenment, blah, blah, blah. So there's a cap. You have $1 million policy or a $2.5 million policy, and just hope you don't have to claim everything at once.
Right.
When it comes to that, the cities run a little bit differently just because of the way they're structured.
Since a lot of our permanent collection was the purchase award winners from our foundation, we obviously have a dollar amount that we purchased that artwork from. And then we've had some art pieces that were donated, and with the help of the artist, that's kind of what we, came up to. So we do have an Excel spreadsheet that has all the numbers on it, but so that we do know at least how much art we have in our possession.
And it is something that the city's gonna have to think about. Do we mingle these collections as one city collection, or do we keep community center collection and then city collection?
Well, I guess it kind of depends. That's a whole other conversation for another day.
Yeah, those are great.
Who do we loan them out to?
Well, if Gene Van Harlingen retrospective was being organized by a local museum, they might want to borrow these works to include in that exhibit. Or if this illustrator got here, or the Nancy Hill.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
And we borrow things all the time. contemporary artist who wants
We,
work.
we have an artist agreement
Yeah.
that we use. Then it kind of outlines what they're responsible for, what we're responsible for, timelines. Ours is very basic, but it is an agreement with the artist.
Is that for temporary?
That's for the monthly, yeah.
Certainly a cultural amenity.
Yeah. Mhm. It is.
Right. So that's all from the argument. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Is there any other discussion necessary? Other than Evan aging out? It's gonna make me sad.
Yeah, he is aging out.
When's your last meeting?
It's a great question. Wish I knew.
It's up to you. You're of the Asian majority.
Thank you.
Call your own shots, man.
Like a year. About a year. Not even 6 months. 7
As
months.
soon as he moves from community college to not living in Merriam anymore.
Yes. December.
So we'll be meeting, we will put out the call for a youth, but if anybody has any ideas for a youth, just know that
If you have a youth, you can throw into the mix.
Of
That
age.
would be great.
Of
Yes,
age.
yeah. Future.
let's say a youth that can.
Hi, Chair. We have a toddler representative.
Over and done with that stuff.
My biggest youth got to drive his car to school today.
Whoa.
Thanks.
I
That's
know.
big.
That's big. I feel like I have a little freedom, honestly.
You have to chauffeur anymore.
I know.
You do.
But we have a couple neighbor girls, one that are junior and a sophomore, that might kind of be civic minded, I want to do that.
That'd be great.
Oh,
We'll line them up. There being no further business, entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
And we adjourn.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
I have a question, Christian.
Ma'am.
So, museums, I can see why you couldn't put a price on it, because prices would change, could change.
Right.
And establishing a market price is difficult.
And museums very much don't live in assigning the value they get. I try because I know they want to come
Yes,
to
like
the
100?
don't.
No, no.
Oh, we're gonna drive the value.
Then there's tax.
She probably has it.
I had to put mine
Well, you
together.
may know.
Feels like county.
Almost done. Market value.
I'll time myself and that'll get me.
We thought we had two pieces. Something different.
I guess I should. I'm not gonna charge for it. It's about that, and the talking about somebody killed the artist, and blood made all this work.
Well, so it happens sometimes. You have to have a market when you
That would make insurance kind of different.
I can do that.
Or they'll just raise your premium.
We're coming off, flights for free.